All right, so I'm on the Webster Dictionary website and I'm looking up the word par. Here's what it says. The number of strokes a good golfer is expected to take to finish a hole or a course. That's pretty simple. Well, what's a good golfer? There are many levels. The way we figure out our pars is on distance and what's in your way. Understanding what a par is important. Let's just say you're out on your field and your coach has set up a nice set of drills and even some holes and possibly even a trick. How many strokes does it take the average kid at your school to get the disc into the drill target or into the chains on the hole that your coach sets up, or even on the trek? That could be 12 or 15 strokes if you're doing a trek. The key for you is learning how to keep track of it, and that's what these are for, scorecards. This week you're going to be getting some scorecards. Make sure to bring a pencil. Always bring a pencil. Try to bring a pencil with an eraser, a real one, not like this. So that way if you make a mistake, you can fix it. So on your scorecard, there are many places to write down scores. The average disc golf course is going to have 9, 18, sometimes even 27 holes. The ones we do at the school are 1 or 2, sometimes 3 or 4, with a bunch of drills, the kind that you throw the roller through and the kind that you do the Scooby through. And then there's the treks where you have to mando. Mando is short for mandatory. That means that you have a mandatory route that you have to take with your disc in order to get through the trek. All these things are listed on here. Sometimes there's a lot more than what you have at school, and that's okay. Just use as many as you can each time, and you should get a new scorecard every day so that you can compare every day and show your growth. When you're on a hole, you want to write down how many strokes that it takes for you to get it into the final target or the basket. When you're on a trek, you do the same thing. You write down how many strokes, even if it's a lot, that it took for you to get through the mandatories and through the trek and into the final or hit the final target. Then there's drills. Drills are scored a little bit differently. The difference is that when you are on a drill, you get 2, 3, or even 4 different tries at getting it. And out of those 2, 3, or 4 tries that you get at your drill shot, you get a minus point for every one you make. So if you have 3 discs and you make one of them out of the 3 into the island or through the cones or whatever coach has you doing, you get a minus point. You're going to be able to do this at the final tournament and the family field trips. This is our way of helping you learn how to do the math of disc golf and be able to use words like par and birdie and eagle or even albatross. Hopefully a hole-in-one, which is known in disc golf as an ace. So your coach is going to go through this card with you and show you how to fill it in. Make sure you listen carefully so you don't get confused, and just follow the little instructions that are on the card. Keep these cards, put them in your school book, in your locker or your bag, or even your disc golf bag, and keep them. At the end of the season, take a look at them and see how things compare. Improvement in any way is what shapes a great disc golfer. Let's talk about the word birdie. Birdie really means 1 under par. So if the par on the hole that you're on is a 3, and you get it in a 2, that's a birdie. If you get it in a 1, that's an eagle and an ace. Well, what if the par is 4 on the hole that you're throwing right now? It would take an average golfer of your skill level 4 strokes to get it in. If you hit a 4, that's the par, even though on the other hole the par was 3, because the par again is how many strokes it takes for an average person of your skill level to get it into the final hole or the target or the basket. Okay? So if the par is 4, then a 3 is it's a birdie. And a 2, that's an eagle. But it's not an ace. An ace is a hole-in-one. What would a hole-in-one be? An albatross. Now let's try this one. What if the par is 5? 5 is the par. 5 is the amount of strokes that it would take for the average person of your skill level to finish the hole. So a 4, if you throw a 4, that's going to be a birdie. A 3 is going to be An eagle, that's right. What's a 2 going to be? That's an albatross. 3 under par is an albatross. If you get it in a 1, that's simply an ace, a hole in 1. A bogey really means 1 over par. So if you're on a par 3 hole and you make it in 4 shots, that is a bogey. If you make it in 5 shots, that is a double bogey. And if you make it in 6 shots, you know what that is. We're not trying to get too many of those. But it doesn't matter if you get a triple bogey. What matters is that you always have another hole and you can always take the score back down. Average par is what you're looking for as a beginner. If you can throw below par, you are looking great. If you are throwing above par, you are still looking great because you are a disc golfer. And disc golfers rock. See you on the field.